Good Friday is a strange day in the life of the believer. Yes? Yes, it is. I would assume that many of us probably feel a sense of guilt, and we even talked about that in our confession of sins. I'm sorry, Lord, for what I've thought, what I've said, what I've done. Some of us also probably feel a degree of sorrow. As we look at Jesus, we say, well, man, I messed that up. It doesn't somehow seem right that he should have to suffer because I messed up. I feel sorry about that, Lord. And those emotions aren't bad. And in fact, they can be wonderfully God-pleasing and even helpful. But it's also important for us to back up from the 7 words on the cross. In just a few moments, we'll hear the 7 words that Jesus spoke from the cross. So amazing, so powerful, so meaningful. But let's back up a moment and remember where it, depending how you define it, started. And that's in the Garden of Gethsemane, where after Jesus got done praying, Jesus went out with his disciples across the Kidron Valley, where there was a garden. He and his disciples went into it. Now Judas, who was betraying him, also knew the place, because Jesus often met there with his disciples. So Judas took the company of soldiers and some guards from the chief priests and the Pharisees, and came there with lanterns, torches, and weapons. Jesus, knowing everything that was going to happen to him, went out and asked them, "Who are you looking for?" "Jesus the Nazarene," they replied. "I am he," Jesus told them, and Judas the betrayer was standing with them. When Jesus told them, "I am he," they backed away and fell to the ground. An amazing text, even more so when you put it into context. Experts believe that the population of Jerusalem around the time of Jesus was about 25,000, maybe 30,000. They believe at Passover time it became 10 times that there was somewhere between 250 and 300,000 people. A whole lot of those people had no place really to stay. So they were bunked out on the ground, throwing up tents wherever they could find a place and sleeping there. Do you guess that as they came together at the temple and as they came together in the marketplace and things like that, that there might have been some jostling, that there might have been some pushing, that there might have been some tension just because the amount of people that were there? Absolutely. And so Passover time was a time when the Roman guards were on high alert. That's why Herod was there in Jerusalem too, was because they wanted, was because they wanted extra guards, they wanted extra people. And so now the Roman guards get this notice that there is an instigator in the Garden of Gethsemane, somebody who wants to foment rebellion. How do you think the Roman guards are feeling as they go out to the Garden of Gethsemane that night? It's dark. You don't have street lights, not like we have. No wonder they're going out there with torches and lanterns. They want to light the place up as best they can. We also get an interesting detail from the Greek. The Greek word that's translated company literally means 1/10 of a legion. The Roman legions at full strength were 6,000 men. So a full company would be 600 soldiers. Now let's balance a bit. The Roman legions were rarely at full strength. They also likely didn't take the entire company out to the Garden of Gethsemane. So it likely was not 600 men. But it also was not 6. 50 soldiers? 75? 100? That would seem very likely. And this is the SWAT team. They're on high alert because they're out there to arrest an instigator. These guys have got their weapons. They've got their torches. So it's very interesting to hear what happens. Jesus goes out to them, and what does he say? Who are you looking for? Jesus the Nazarene. I'm he. And they all drew back and what? Fell to the ground. What? This SWAT team on high alert is just so surprised that they all fall over? What happened there was that Jesus, the Son of God, knocked this whole group of soldiers flat. Who is really in charge there in the garden? Jesus was. A few verses later, we're going to read that they bound him. Why was it that they could bind him? It wasn't because they had power over him. Jesus made that very clear by knocking them all flat. The reason they could bind him was because he was willing to do it. He was willing to allow them to bind him and take him away.